Flosstube. It's Chrissy, finally a farm girl. It is Sunday, May 22nd, 2022, and this is my Flosstube channel, and it is episode 46. Welcome. If you are new, and there are several of you, I am very happy to have you here. This is my channel about cross stitch, and every now and then a few other crafty goodies, but primarily cross stitch, and today it is all about cross stitch. To those who have followed me on this journey or joined me, anywhere along the way and have stuck with me, thank you so much. This has really been such a fun experience. It is something that is hard to explain. I think we say it a lot on these episodes, that it feels like we are sitting in a room with you stitching, and that is exactly how it feels to be sitting here staring at myself, but it really isn't how it feels. So anyways, I am glad to have, that's my dog. I'm glad to have everybody here with me, and I am gonna just kind of give you just a few updates. And Ginger, I fed her breakfast in her crate, and she's right there, so she's deciding she needs to play with the bowl. Okay, so anyways, how was my week? That's usually what I start off with, as most of us do. I will say it was exhausting. I usually don't say that. I have plenty of time to sit with Philip and throughout the week, but this week felt like I was all over the place. We had doctor's appointments. Philip had doctor's appointments that we're making up for last week. I went up to Brick City on Friday. That was fantastic. It always is. That is my local needlework shop. So I'll share some of my goodies with you later that I picked up at Brick City. But other than that, it just felt like it was getting ready for my granddaughter. She turned 4 on Saturday, and her birthday party was on Saturday. So it was such an exciting day for her, leading up to it, preparing for it. I know that she's just been getting so excited. She had her first piñata. She had a unicorn piñata. So I will, at the end of this video, insert maybe a couple of pictures from her birthday party if you want to watch. Grandma and Papa, my husband and myself, got her a bike, and I was so excited to have Randy finally wheel it in with some balloons. And my dad, her great-grandfather, picked her up a helmet, which is a unicorn helmet, so it was a riot to see. Wait till you see those pictures. And she did great. We went out, and once everybody left, we went out in the road in our neighborhood. We live on a cul-de-sac, and she could ride it to the end. But I will say that our weather has turned incredibly humid and hot because we had some really big storms, like really big storms. There were some tornadoes, there was hail, our golf course flooded. Philip did not sleep Friday night for a while because he kept getting woken up, and that really doesn't happen too much here. We've been very lucky, but it was loud, and there was some good gusts. Same with Aria, bless her heart. She did not care for the lightning. But other than that, it was just a busy week. And then yesterday was, the prep for the party at the house. We had it here, and then we left for a little bit and gave my daughter and her husband and them time to set up the actual decor and get ready. So there was cupcakes and all that good stuff. So it was fun. It was fun, but it was busy, and like I said, it was kind of really hot. So I have been really not great on my weight loss / exercise journey. I kind of, to be really honest, I don't want to say fell off the bandwagon, but I really just, it kind of felt really busy and yet not interested in any particular food rules. So I don't know if you've ever been in my shoes, but I feel a little more ready for the challenge today. And so I have dressed and ready for a walk as soon after the floss tube's over, and I hope that I can kind of get back on it and take a little better care of myself. And birthdays are over, and I have this chunk of time between now and StitchCon Weekend A, which is coming up so quickly. I'm getting so excited. So I just want to take this time to maybe help myself along, so that then when I get to StitchCon, I can have some fun, and not care where I eat or what we eat, and just kind of, do my best. So anyways, life is life, right? Sometimes it happens. You just got to get right back up on that bike. And my sister is still just doing incredible things with her journey. She walks almost every single day, but for sure on the weekends. I think I caught her say yesterday she did 13 miles. So it's crazy. And I'm incredibly proud of her. But okay, so moving on to stitching. I did watch a few floss tubes, but I am behind because I was so busy. I watched Made by Michelle McGraw. She shared one of my patterns, Scarecrow Jack, and she's got a little progress on him. And I just love how Michelle does her pieces. She absolutely makes them into her own, and they're awesome. She showed several finishes. I think they were stitching with the housewives that were more your chicken and farm life. They were phenomenal. I absolutely loved them. Of course, they were on Murky. So I did watch her. I have a couple others that have tagged me, that I need to watch and catch up on later on tonight. I did watch Stitching, oh geez, I'm gonna forget the name right now. Stitching Grandma 17. It's very close to that. I can't believe I just lost that because I can't remember if it's Stitching Granny of 17. Anyways, I did catch her floss tube. I know you can find it by searching that, and she is going to spotlight some of my patterns in June. So she's going to have some giveaways in June. Okay, so I say let's go ahead and get started. You'll notice that I have cut my hair. It used to be quite long. I do like it long, but I'm really trying to let the natural grow in, and I'm almost there with the exception of the back, which tends to still have some of the brown in it. So I have been myself cutting away at it to the point where then it's gone, and then I'll let it grow out a little bit too. But I cut myself and my hair and my husband's hair and Philip's hair. So anyways, yeah, I kind of just wanted to keep getting it layered and getting rid of the brown and letting just the gray, which it's all there. it's definitely all there. Okay, so I had literally one FFO this week. I did work on my Twin Peak Primitives model. That was kind of my go-to stitching. I feel like I lost out on week 2 of my whip mania, if that's what you want to call it. I did not have a finish of any old whip. I was going to work on Mother's Honor Due, and to be honest, every night I just kind of felt like I wasn't ready to work on a chart that other than the model stitching. That just was a comfortable stitch for me. So I stayed with it. And the first thing I did after last week's floss tube was finished my, it's called The Night Before Christmas. And so I'm just gonna go straight to my FFO. And this is my finish. So this is my design. And I had mentioned to you I'd gotten some sweet fabric for the back. So I did make it into a pillow, which means of course I've got to rotate it a little bit so that you can see. And it just says, "'Twas the night before Christmas." And what you have is Mr. and Santa and Mrs. Claus. And they're both holding a stocking, one for each of the mice who are snuggled up in bed. I added some garland at the end on their footboard, a little rug. Mrs. Claus has her lantern just to help guide their way into the bedroom. And of course, the little mice have left Santa out a cup of cocoa, and there is a little cookie there with a little cherry on top. there's an angel on the top of their tree, and oops, it got a little bent. I added a red gingham bow to their potted tree. So this I did go ahead and release, and I did share a little 1-minute video. My husband did that for me, and I thought it turned out really cute. A lot of you have been waiting for this, and I said, I could put a picture out on YouTube, but I thought it would be a little bit nicer if you could see it in video form versus picture, because sometimes pictures just don't do it justice, and they don't show the true color. So the video, I think, was a nice way to go. Now, this I did stitch on 28 count, and I finished it with some like a hunter green chenille, like a yarn. And I am waiting because I've ordered some Christmas pins that I can put on the back here. I had buttons, and I wanted it to look a little bit older. So, but this is that fabric that I had gotten off of Etsy. I shared the link before, but anyway, so this is the night before Christmas. It's available in my shop now, and I will say I had such a good time. And my intention with this, and why I really wanted the pillow, one, it is hard to continually store, because I love stitching Christmas so much. It's hard to store a bunch of framed Christmas pieces, so it makes it a little bit easier to store a pillow. But my goal is, this was a book my grandmother read to us every Christmas. She got everybody the book when they were born, and it just absolutely brings back so many great memories. So I would like to take my very old 'Twas the Night Before Christmas book and then open it up and then prop this inside of it. So the red I used, I think most of you know by now, is Cupid, Classic Colorworks. And I did want to say one thing about, I added these buttons right here, little black square buttons on her nightgown. And then I wanted to mention, up here, the candy. Brick City Cross Stitch has, from Just Another Button Company, a package of candy that would have worked beautifully for this. It had a peppermint, it had so many good things that if you did not want to stitch this, it was a packet of several. So I believe the cost was 14. Let's just say somewhere between 12 and 14. I think well worth it for clay buttons, and you could literally eliminate that altogether, and it would be so cute. So that's up to you. But it's charted with the candy canes and the candies and the gumdrops, but when I happened to go up there Friday, I was like, oh my gosh, that would have been really perfect. So if it's something where you want to check those out and you get the pattern, I would certainly go for it. No counting, just put them where you want then. But anyway, so this was really fun for me, and it was actually one of those things I was really glad to bring to life, and I'm so excited for the Christmas time to come so I can get my book out and prop it up, and I'm sure I'll share a picture of that. Okay, so that was my fully finish. Let's go ahead and talk about the giveaway for last week. The word was birthdays, and the winner of last week's giveaway was where they could pick 2 of my patterns. So the winner is Pamela Stitches, and I hope I said that right. Congratulations. And you spell that P-A-M-A-L-L-A-M-A, Pamela Stitches. And she says, I am so in love with your FFOs. I've been looking for the right size piece for a special wall, and the Bluebird Quaker is the piece. I totally agree with you. I will order my chart today from Willow Hill. Finally, the perfect size. Your first sampler is another on my wish list. So beautiful. Birthdays for my family lands during the summer months. Same here. Our next one is Philip, June 6th. Then my oldest daughter is July. Yeah, and then 2 in August. It's hot. So nice to be able to celebrate each birthday with outdoor gatherings and family. So congratulations again, and all you need to do is email me at finallyafarmgirl@gmail.com and just let me know, and then you can tell me the 2 patterns that you would like to pick out, and I will email them to you. Okay, so that's that. Now, I have mentioned before I'm waiting for the 7,000 giveaway package. I did get something special in the mail this week. I did not know it was coming, but I'm going to add it to the package. So right now I have a good chunk from Fat Quarter Shop and something that came today that I'll share with you when I go through Happy Mail. Anyways, so I am still working on that package, and I believe now I am approaching 6,900 followers. So we're getting there. But this week, I will do my giveaway this week for the night before Christmas. So my pattern, this one here, and just, why don't we just use the word mistletoe? And because I'm sure maybe we need a pattern with Mr. and Mrs. Claus and mistletoe. But either way, let's use the word mistletoe, and you know that you need to be over 18 because I'll need to ask your address, and I believe that you know how the rules go. Don't use words like giveaway, winner, freebie, anything like that, draw, so that, you know, true stitchers are the ones that receive these giveaways. Okay, so moving on, that takes care of all of that. Okay, so since I finished as far as my whips go, and what did I work on? Mostly my Twin Peak Primitives model. I'm going to be really honest, it got most of my attention last week, and then a good chunk was finishing up the night before Christmas. I got so close, and it felt so good to be able to get that out. But I had another one for Christmas that I was ready, and when I went up to Brick City on Friday, I got fabric for 3 new designs, and the first one that I did get a start on is called Rudolph Celebration. So again, I'll just share sneak peeks as I go because they are my whips. It's not gonna show you much of anything, but I did go ahead and get a start on it. The only hint that I can give to you right now is that this one has both Mr. and Mrs. Claus. They are a little different looking for the first time, and Rudolph, and they are in a barn. So that's kind of going to be the image I leave you with. Now, of course, this is Santa's barn, and Santa's barn is probably magical compared to the barn that, you know, I had, and it's probably way cleaner. But anyways, so this is I had a new start on that, and I am stitching it on 28 count Jobelin lamb's wool. I absolutely love this. It was a nice color where all the browns in this show up. So I got a little start on Rudolph Celebration. That was one. I'll move that over here. I also got, 1 second here. I believe I showed you last time that I was working on my next Beulah, and this one is called Beulah Bakes. And so I was able to this week finish, we had so much rain, so the lighting is not the greatest out there. So you'll notice Beulah's a little bit, I've got a little bit different green going on. I felt like she showed up a little bit better, but getting ready to add some of the cuteness, but I was glad to get her in. So I had a little finish on her. And of course, I shared with you that I was using, she's housed right now in my Dot Dot Goose bag with the Teresa Kogut fabric. This is the back. And you know, this bag is just, you want to work on the projects just because of the bag. I mean, that's how cute it is you just want to have it out. So, and she is stitched on 32 count summer khaki. Okay, next. All right, I did put a few stitches last night after the party on the Fat Quarter Shop there's Mystery Sal, and this is their Summer House Sal, and it's coming along. I'm still behind slightly, but I did get some good progress in, and the nice part is since I am behind, I can kind of go where I want to go on it now without going too far ahead. I'm not going to surprise anybody. So let's see if I can get this in some better light. So what I did was I got these two, and I need to finish the M and the E, and then I jumped down here because I wanted to stitch this little planner and start on this house. So as long as I'm plugging away a little bit each week, I feel pretty good about this, and I'm confident that I'm going to have a finish. The flea market basket sal that I was working on, that one's a little bit slower, and you're definitely changing. This one it has been a joy to stitch. I have really liked it, and it's been fun to stitch on white, which I don't usually do. So I'm not really sure. I believe this is going to be a gift. So I'm kind of anxious to see how it gets framed and or what I do with it. It's really fun. So it was nice to have something, I don't want to say brain dead, but it was nice to have something that I could just sit down and really not worry too much about and just enjoy it. So anyways, look forward to getting a few more stitches on that, and there's still time. This is, you know, something that's been enjoyable to work on. I'm stitching on the 28 count even weave by Fabric Flair, and the floss is all by Classic Colorworks. So, and that of course came in that really cute bag, which by the way, in the giveaway from Fat Quarter Shop, there's like 3 of these. So somebody's gonna end up with some really nice project bags. Okay. All right, I wanted to share, last Sunday I mentioned that my friend Sarah from high school was going to come up and we were going to stitch for the afternoon. One of the reasons that she was coming up was because I mentioned to you that we were working on a project around our senior trip in 1985 to Paris. So we wanted to stitch something to commemorate that trip. And so my Sarah, Hope, and myself are all stitching something for us. And then we wanted to, after picking the pattern, we wanted to stitch something, we wanted to stitch it again for our teacher, Mrs. Arend. Now, she was a teacher in the Clarkston school district for years. And she taught French 1 through 4, and anyways, just a super sweet person. Her husband's name was Bob, and so I'm pretty confident she doesn't watch my Flosstubes, but I wanted to finally share with you. We found the pattern on Etsy, and this one, Sarah has stitched her third. So it's a circle, and she divided it into thirds, so it's my turn. And I just wanted to show how cute the details were in this. So our French teacher absolutely loved Paris. Every other year, she would take her class to Paris on a senior trip. I got so lucky that my graduation year was on a year that she would coordinate and organize a senior trip. And I was very blessed that my parents believe very much in, you don't need to go to Daytona Beach, but we'll support a Paris trip. And so I got to go and experience something that I know is just very unique and was so much fun. So anyways, this is the first third, and it's just this pattern reminded us, Mrs. Arend always wore high heels, and I mean high heels. She always looked so beautiful, and she still does. And she did love a good glass of wine. So this is just going to be so much fun. Now, we got this off of Etsy. All of us went and bought the pattern immediately. And it was from a designer actually from Ukraine. So that worked out kind of really well. So I was going to try and see if I could get the name for you. It's just called Paris. Imagine that. So we're stitching it on just white DMC and with all the called for DMC floss. And it was very sweet. Sarah passed them all down. And then when I'm done, I will mail it up to Hope. And then from there, Hope will do her third, and we will get it to, gift it to our teacher. So anyways, and then now Sarah gets to stitch it for herself. And I just think that's gonna be so much fun. So I wanted to share that with you, and I wanted to share the story. And I'm really excited. I know it's funny because I remember when we were there, I came home with a pink jean jacket. That was what I wanted. I didn't end up with a bunch of little things. I did get some perfume. I won't forget that. And then I wanted to get this pink jacket, and it was hard because it was in Harrods. And I was lucky that my one friend, Amy, I don't know that she would recall it, but I needed to go back to the mall there. And so we took a moment, and we ended up, and she's like, I'll go back with you. And so I wore that jacket for so much, and it was so soft. But anyways, it's just funny the things that you remember, and I loved the countryside. So enough about Paris, but I wanted to share that with you, and we just had a really good time. She's really great with Philip, and it's so good to just be with somebody that you kind of grew up with. So anyways, it was fun, and it was relaxing. And then the rain started. Okay, so I am actually ready to share a little more of my haul that I got when I went up to Brick City. I went specifically for fabric and to pick up something from Stitchy Linda. So she was giving me her stitched pieces that she and I are working on together for gifts for our table mates at StitchCon. And I'll be excited to share those with you when they're done, but right now they're our secret stitches. So, but we needed to get together and make sure that I had enough time to finish them. So I went up there for that. That was priority. After that, I needed some fabric for model stitches, and I also got to pick up my Broad Stripes and Bright Stars, the new booklet from Teresa Kogut. And it is so cool. So oops, there's my ring light. I was really happy to have this. And her books are so beautifully done now. So I will show you. This is one of those I literally would do all of them. This one here, I can't show you the back side, but this here, I think this will be my first one that I do, just to be able to put in my dough bowl, but I love that. And color patterns, love. Okay, let's see here. I was gonna show you one more. This one, this God Shed His Grace on Thee. Really cute. It's so cute. So they had come in that day, and I didn't know that, but I always make sure to check. And Lincoln is in this one too. His picture is, I love that. Okay, I was making sure that there wasn't another one to talk about. They're all good. They're all just really, really good. This one here, it's adorable. Look at that bear. Adorable. I don't know that I'll stitch it on red unless I might try dyeing it myself. I don't know. It would have to be a really perfect red. But it's really, I love that. So cute. And you could, if you wanted to, just by looking at the pattern, you could stitch these by themselves really easily. And they'd be so cute. Anyways, this was a really, really nice book. Now, this got me to thinking, because these can be more pricey than some of the other patterns, and it is well deserved because it's a book and it has numerous patterns in it. And that made me think about the fact that, you know what, I don't think I'm going to call myself, yes, I'm a cross stitch stitcher, collector, but I also think I'm going to start saying that this is going to be put in my library. And it made me laugh just a little bit because I thought we've all tried to come up with these words, and in sense we're trying to justify why we have numerous patterns or numerous whips when there's no need to justify anyways. And then I thought, you know, there are people in the world that have libraries. They collect books, and obviously there's many collections, but specifically it made me think about, why can't I have a library of cross-stitch books? And in my mind, I'm not really talking about the small ones that I might quickly print off of Etsy or things like that. I'm talking about Hands Across the Sea books and Teresa Kogut books. You know, you've got so many of these beautiful designers that put these things together, and they're phenomenal. So to me, I think I'm going to start referring to mine as the cross-stitch library, because there's a lot of these that I have yet to start and stitch. They're in project books, or project bags, and I've started in one of my spool cabinets, which is a tabletop, like a desktop one. It's slanted. I keep all my reproduced sampler books in there. So I have just, it's been fun to put some of my more special books. So anyways, Azula off, baby. Anyways, I just thought that was a cute word, and maybe you might want to use it for yourself. You know, maybe it's not just a collection, maybe it's an actual library. And that's what we're working towards, because sometimes we just want to pick them up and hold them and look at them and read about them, and especially like Hands Across the Sea, where you're getting so much information with them. It's just a thought. And it can be more than just patterns. It can be some reference books that we get. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start saying library. My cross-stitch library grew. And then there's different genres, and it all makes sense. It made so much sense to me. Okay, what else did I get? The one fabric piece that I got that has no purpose, just wanted to have it, was this 32 count Belfast Grandma's Stuffing. Grandma's Stuffing. So here it is. Let's make sure, let me open this, let me unpin it a second here. I want you to see this. Right about there. There you go. This stuff is gorgeous. Now I want to get it in the right light for you. Here and there a little bit. It's like you see these little dark and light spots. I just wish I could get it better. Like, oh, there you go. It's like it's been in the oven. But I wanted the linen versus the even weave, because obviously you got the better modeling out of that. So it was worth it. So I got myself a piece that is, let me cross it out, I think it's like 17 by 27, but either way, it's like a good chunk, so I could do something nice on it. Ooh, there's a good one. That's exactly what it looks like. So anyways, Grandma's Stuffing. I loved it. I had the name of it, and I know that I saw it first with, that is what Stitchy Linda is stitching her a tasket on, which has now become a sale. She's doing that with Jessica of Sweetwater Stitching, a tasket, and I believe they're starting Memorial Day. You could check out Sweetwater Stitcher Jessica and check out Stitchy Linda's Instagram page. And I believe they start Memorial Day. Okay, so next was I also got fabric for my next Matilda. Okay, so Matilda, I am so thankful that everybody loves her so much, the way that I love her. And so I wanted to get my next piece because I designed Matilda Sews, and I'll show you just real quick. I made her a little bit different, and you're not going to get the benefit of everything, but because I showed you Matilda last time, I don't mind. But this is her. So the difference in Matilda Sews is this time, instead of having the vintage tomato right here, I made one to the side, and I have her cross stitching on a hoop. It was my favorite red. I added a year, and I added a black and white gingham bow. So anyways, I'm working right now, and I picked up the fabric so I could, when I'm ready, start Matilda. Okay. The next thing I got was no more from Brick City. I was actually quite good that day. Was I want to join in, and I told Linda, and now I got Linda joined in, and that's just how things roll. But I want to join in the Told in the Garden sale that Vanna, the Twisted Stitcher, is hosting. I'm trying to think of, she is doing it with Made by Michelle McGraw. I had to put the two together. And so they both had these Told in the Gardens, and they wanted to work on them. They loved them, but they really just didn't make a commitment to them. And now Vanna has finished a couple, and then Michelle of Made by Michelle McGraw, she had one as well, and she's like, why am I not stitching these? So they decided it doesn't matter which one you stitch, but if you're stitching a Told in the Garden pattern, you know, to join in. And I have always liked these. I've always liked the simple life that they represent and the hard work that they do represent in the Amish pictures that she portrays. So the two that I got at first, I've got four. Two are on their way, and no, wait, three. I have three, I'm sorry. The first two I got, I just had, they were my favorite, and it was Grandmother's House. Absolutely just love this so much. And of course I'm a grandma, so, and I love the featherweight and the curtains and all the details. So this was kind of a no-brainer at first. Those were the first two I wanted. Not that I'll start them at first, not sure. And the other one was Grandfather's Barn. So I got both of those, and then I also really loved two more. And the first one was the Country Store. That is the one that Linda and I are going to do together, and I don't know if we'll start it. I believe we're going to start it, maybe just get a few stitches in before StitchCon, but I think we're going to take it to StitchCon, and that will be something we have and would be fun. So that one is hopefully in the mail to me right now. But so if you happen to be doing any Told in a Garden, please feel, join in with Vanna and Michelle. And anyways, I will be sharing progress as I get some linen for this. So I actually had thought about the idea of, I would have to look at the dimensions of the two, but I wondered about possibly stitching them on the same piece, so you'd have the farmhouse and the barn, and just taking out Grandma's house and Grandfather's barn. I don't know, but it was just a thought, and just stitching them, above or each other on one piece. But anyways, I'm not sure, because when you get one finished, I think I'd want to run right out and get it framed and get it on the wall. But anyways, so that was first part of eBay haul. The next thing I got was my Tiny Modernist. This is the Sal that she was doing with Crazy Annie's. So I got this one, which is part 8. And it's a 12-part ornament series, so we're kind of closing in on the end. and comes with the fabric. Okay, then the other thing I did was, I think I talked to you last week about already knowing some of my 2023 stitching plans. And I don't know why, but it just dawned on me with birthdays that were coming up and that we're literally almost in June. StitchCon is so close, and that means June is here. And knowing that, I realize that I see a lot of people talk about these once in a lifetime projects that are sitting in a closet, or maybe they've kitted up and they just haven't started it. And so knowing that I have several that'll follow me into 2023, I thought maybe 2023, January 1st, New Year's Day, could be a day for anybody who wanted to join a sale with Lyndon and myself that's called Stitch by Stitch sale. I just like the words stitch by stitch because that's how you get it done. Every stitch counts. So even if you don't finish it in 2023, it wouldn't be sitting in your closet. Even if you feel worried about it, or it's something you've got to learn as you go, it's not going to get done if you don't have any stitches in it. So her thing, when I asked her, what is your piece? What would that one piece be? Hers was a Charles Wysocki piece. And she already had it basically kitted up and ready to go, and she'd always wanted to stitch it. She stitched one other one before, but hers was called Cozy Cove. And I shared that with you last week. And I did at first have a hard time finding it. Thank you to a couple people who sent me links. And then all of a sudden, Linda says, look what I found on Amazon. So all of a sudden, here's the kit. It's a Dimensions kit. Cozy Cove, the exact one that she's doing, because I said, well, what if I did it with you? Would it help motivate you and keep us on the same path and help each other? So this is Cozy Cove that I was able to get off of Amazon for only $27. Everything's ready there. Now, of course, I will change out the fabric so that it's on an even weave. I'm not sure what I'll use, but either way, it'll be linen, even weave, something like that. And I'll see what the count is. But so anyways, if you have something in mind that this is, to me, it's just because I already know what I'm starting on January 1st. And this is going to be so much fun. So we're going to use the hashtag Stitch by Stitch sale. And so if you know something that you would want to join us with already, and you're willing to, wait till January 1st and start with us, please tag us on Instagram if you're on Instagram with your project, because I think it'll be so fun to see everybody's. Maybe it's a Mira, maybe it's, Queen of the Flag, maybe, who knows? Either way, or a Teresa Wetzler, who knows? I'm excited, and I have my kit, and I'm ready to go, and I didn't want to open it, but I'm going to go ahead and open it now, and of course I'll get some sort of a special project bag, and we are ready for New Year's. I did not get any work on Mary Clayton this week. I miss her. I want to pick her up. It is a Hands Across the Sea pattern and stitch along that I am doing with Kathy, Carolina Cross Stitcher. So just know that you'll see progress next week. It just wasn't on my radar this week at all. Okay, then Happy Mail. I was so surprised because if you know Michelle of Under the Woolen Willow, I have a couple of her pillows, and I believe I even have a tomato. But either way, she has made her first book, and it is called Skinny Pillows Across the Seasons. And she gifted me one to gift to you. So, she said you can keep it or you can pass it on. She even gave me the prepaid envelope. How sweet is that? So this is her new book. These are all her pillows. It, again, super high quality brochure. And it's just so good. And it gives you everything you need to know how to make these. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I thought this was so special that I'm gonna put this in the 7,000 subscriber giveaway box. So anyways, thank you so much, Michelle. I just absolutely, the timing was perfect, and I am just so excited to add this to the box. Somebody is going to be a very happy camper when they receive that. Okay, hold on one second here. I think I only have one last thing, and that is I made a promise to myself when I reproduced Margette, Alice Parker. I made a promise that, you know, I would stick within my means for a little bit and make sure that I grew with these projects as I reproduced them. So, of course, I shared with you that what I picked was mostly a red work, something I felt that I could easily reproduce and challenge myself at the same time. So I immediately, once I released Margette, started looking for the next sampler. And I found it. I wish there was a couple of things that were different on it, but at the same time, I'm ready. Now this one is, her name is Mary, A.E. Fiskage. It's kind of hard to say. Fiskage, and she was 11 years old. Fiskage. Anybody feel free to help me out with that, because I want to say Fiskage or Fiskage. I'm not sure. There's no town, but what I liked was this one had 3 simple words in her verse, and it's just God is love, which I've done one of those before, but she had a very colorful sampler, and I do have a little bit of the story. So this is, there's not museum glass on this, so sorry about that. So this is Mary, A.E. Fiskage, 11 years old. And I like the fact that I could work on some of the birds, the peacocks. She outlined the eyes. I thought that was really cute. But this one has a little flower basket. It's got the peacocks. There's some cute little symbols in here. And she certainly loved her colors. So this one actually came frame, and this one had some information on the back. It says Mary Ann Elizabeth. So Mary, A.E. is for Ann and Elizabeth. Fisk. See, they said Fisk. Oh, I just figured it out. I'm so silly. It's not Fiskage, it's Fisk. And there's a little design right there, right in there, separating it to the word age 11. Well, nothing like laughing at yourself. Okay, let's start this again. This sampler is by Mary A.E. Fisk, age 11 years. That makes so much more sense. Okay, so on the back, there's a piece of tape that says Mary Ann Elizabeth Fisk, born on March 21st, 1872, died January 22nd, 1954. January 22nd, yeah, they wrote it twice. She made this when she was 11 years old, and she was our very special aunt. So, anyways, I like the fact that there was some history, and that makes it so much easier for me to say Mary Fisk. And you can laugh at me with myself or alongside myself, because I kept reading that and it was all crammed together, but you finally can see this little, she put a couple stitches there just to show that you were breaking it, but I did not see that at all. So anyways, there's some cute, she's got this one thing over here, and I don't know what it is. It almost looks like a telephone, but I know that it's not. Right here, I don't know what that is, but it's cute, and I want to make sure that I preserve what was written on the back. But anyways, so I did want to share with you that there will be a new sampler coming. I just went ahead and already hung this on the wall. I don't know how soon I will work on that. I do know my goal right now is to plow away on the model for Twin Peak Primitives before I start something like that and go down that path. But I felt like this was the perfect next piece to be able to work on my skills and pick out some colors and just and see. I learned what her name was. But anyway, so that was really it. That was my week. I wish I had gotten a little more stitching in, but at the same time I got a lot of important things, accomplished, and I'm really ready to go. And this week is a lot less busy, so my plans this week will be to do more model stitching, but my priority is to finish up and work on the secret stitches for StitchCon. Those definitely take importance at this point, and I will just fill in with some of my model stitches when I want during the day. It's always easy to work on a Beulah or one of my Christmas pieces during the day. And then Hands Across the Sea, I would like to put a little love into Mary Clayton. As far as my mania goes, I have a feeling it's over for me. I'm not sure that I'll get the stitchy bug for either Women of the Mayflower or Mother's Honor Due. Those were the other two that I wanted to dedicate a week of monogamous stitching, and I'm not sure that I will end up doing that. We shall see. We shall see. So anyways, that is it. I did get to sit with my dad last Wednesday. We had a good meal together, and anyways, I would love to ask for your prayers. He's having eye surgery on Wednesday, and he's actually looking forward to it. The doctor is feeling like there's a chance he may not need his glasses, maybe just some readers, so that's kind of exciting. So eye number 1 is Wednesday, and if you could, say a little prayer for him that we get home and he gets settled and eye clears up quickly, that would be fantastic. Other than that, I wish you guys a really happy week, a week filled with stitching and so many blessings. And other than that, I will catch you next Sunday, and please don't forget to floss. Bye guys.